Alright, so we got more 1069 spoilers here, and things have changed because we kind of got some bunk information yesterday. Not all of it. I would say about 85% of the information that we went over was accurate, but there's bits that weren't true, unfortunately, and I'll do my due diligence in the future as well as the other leakers, but it's not really too big of a deal, fortunately. It's not like, we were completely misled. It's just small things, and I'll go over them, but we're finding out so much more now. Like, we're going into a lot more than we did yesterday. So let's get into it. The title of the chapter is Everything Exists for a Reason. The title refers to the lore of the devil fruits. They were born from the desires of humans. Each fruit is someone's desire to be something more, to evolve further. This is something unnatural and that the mother sea, quote unquote, does not like. And that explains the weakness of the devil fruits to seawater. Okay, so that's a huge reveal on devil fruit lore there. Something that we didn't really know before. But to be honest, most of us probably had this in the back of our minds because the devil fruits are like so oddly specific. Not all of them, but some of them really are, like especially like the paramecias, like their abilities are just so specific that it's like, how did this form in nature? Like the Logias, that totally makes sense that would be like something occurring in nature, like from a supernatural standpoint, of course. But like when you get into like the real bizarre paramecias, it's like that doesn't seem right. There has to be something more to it because these are ideas that people have. A lot of them are, and this explains it. They're born from desires of humans. Now, of course, that doesn't tell us the whole story, but I'm assuming that once we find out like where they truly come from, which we can assume it comes from 3 trees, right? Like the Eve tree that gives sunlight to Fishman Island that we can assume is over Marijois currently, and then the whale tree on Zoe, and then the Adam tree on Elbaf. We can assume that all the devil fruits come from them, right? Each 3 categories, Zoe and Paramecia Logia. But first, let's talk about the sponsor of this video, Raid Shadow Legends. Raid Shadow Legends is a free-to-play game with amazing graphics with over 80 million downloads. Whenever I have some free time, like if I'm in an Uber or something, I definitely go into Raid and take on some of the boss battles because that's my favorite part of the game for sure. But also, Raid's got something extra special happening right now because they've released a legendary champion based off of MMA and pro wrestling legend Ronda Rousey. You can get Ronda for free right now just by logging into Raid. All you need to do is log in and play Raid for 7 days between now and February 20th, and Ronda's yours. You can also use special promo code RAID-RONDA to get stuff like 3-day 100 XP boost, 500 silver, and 5 full energy refills. Also, if you're an Amazon Prime member, you can get your exclusive rewards in Raid right now. So guys, if you haven't started playing Raid yet, click the link in my description or scan the QR code here on the screen and you'll get unique bonuses worth $30. I'm talking free epic champion, Rektar Drath, 200 silver, 1 energy refill, and 1 XP boost, along with 1 ancient shard so you can summon awesome champions as soon as you get in the game. All your treasure will be waiting for you here. It's available for 30 days to new players only. And once you're in the game, come find me under the name Big Z, and if you're fast enough, you can join my clan. But it's like there's something special that goes into how those trees are made, or maybe there's even more like a devious and more sinister origin behind it, like sacrificing souls or something. Because it could like kind of parallel to how Kaguya made like the god tree in Naruto. Because I do think that Imu is the Kaguya of One Piece. And I do think that she has something to do with the origin of the devil fruits for sure. And as for it saying like the mother sea does not like, and that explains the weaknesses of the devil fruits of seawater, I assume that she is Mother Sea, and she is like the sea devil that we've heard about since like the beginning of the series essentially. Luffy Gear 5 versus Lucci in his awakened Zhoniin. Lucci's awakened form is a big cat, a mix between Chopper's Monster Point and Who's fruit. So yeah, we found this out yesterday, super exciting. Like I thought Luffy wouldn't be able to go into Gear 5 immediately, but he can. And this is the explanation for how Lucci got so much stronger. Post time skip, he somehow awakened his devil fruit. And aside from this description here with him looking like Monster Point Chopper with Who's fruit, we actually have more of a description of. So apparently he looks like a normal hybrid and has a halo of clouds on him as Luffy transforms into Gear 5, except that his color is black and his hair looks like clouds too. Kaku wants to help Lucci because he is fighting a Yonko, but Lucci ignores him and continues to fight alone. So this is something that we didn't know yesterday. I was talking about, something has to kind of happen at the end. Maybe Kaku was gonna come in and maybe Kaku has an awakening too, or Seraphims were gonna come in, but it turns out that Kaku wanted to help Lucci, but he's too proud. He's like, no, I'll fight him alone. CP0 is fighting Seraphim because Sentomaru has commanded to fight against them. There is a war or to see who controls the Seraphim, but CP0 destroys a section of Egghead, which is the one that communicated with the Seraphim. Whoa, so that's a big surprise too. We didn't know that yesterday, and I talked about it in last week's spoilers as well. When we found out that Shaka was giving control of the Seraphims to Sentomaru, I was like, okay, so does that mean that Vegapunk like completely trusts Sentomaru in that he's not going to betray him for CP0? And that was the big question. It's like, is Sentomaru just going to give control of the Seraphims to CP0 since, you know, they all are under control of the world government? But no, Sentomaru's being a G here, and he might have like that face turn that we kind of speculated about, because this is a big deal. I mean, not every Marine is just going to fight against CP0, but considering that they're destroying the section that communicates with the Seraphim, they're definitely going to turn rogue here. Like, I never thought that the Seraphim were going to be like on the side of the protagonist. They're just too powerful and like devious-y, you know, they kind of have to fight against the protagonist. It would just be too good if they were good. Luffy overwhelms and scares and defeats Lucci by KOing him. Okay, so this is also what we talked about in the previous chapter, but we also heard that there was like a Tom and Jerry-esque fight between them. Turns out that that's not the case. That was bunk info. Luffy is apparently just one-shotting Lucci here for the most part. Like, apparently he's just powering up, scaring Lucci, and then one-shotting him and like knocking him completely out, which is like amazing. And, you know, like we've been talking about, on paper, this is how it should have happened, right? Gear 5 Luffy defeated Kaido, therefore everyone beneath Kaido should just get one-shotted for the most part, or two-shotted, you know, whatever. Kizaru is ready to go to Egghead and got permission from Aka Inu. Okay, here's the other thing that we did not know about in the previous chapter, because unfortunately we got some bunk info where it said that Aka Inu denied Kizaru from going to Egghead. And that made me laugh because like he denied Kizaru to go to Wano. And it was like, is he just gonna keep denying Kizaru from going everywhere? And I was like, okay, I guess that makes sense because they're just gonna save them for the final arc. But no, turns out Kizaru is going to Egghead. So is this gonna be Luffy's next big fight? Like Gear 5 Luffy versus Kizaru? Oh man, that would be amazing. And it's like, who wins that fight? This is going to cause a lot of controversy and a lot of heated arguments for sure. Because it's one thing for Luffy to take down Kaido, but as we know, there's that massive, you know, over a decade old debate now of Yonko versus Admiral, who wins? And it's like, we might find out here. We might get more insight to it than we ever have before, because Marineford did give us some insight, but not what we truly wanted. You know, there wasn't like a definitive answer. But if Kizaru does go to Egghead and face off against Luffy, that would be, oh my god, incredible. I'm not gonna get my hopes up, but it seems like it's very possible now, and I'm sure Kizaru could get there very fast, using his fruit powers, of course. The mythical Hito Hito no Mi model Nika does not appear in the Devil Fruit book. Okay, that makes sense, right? Because it's supposed to be like a secret, so it wouldn't be in there. But I'm sure there's more to this. Lucci gets recovered before the chapter ends due to his awakening and wants to leave the island. Okay, so we knew that he recovered due to his awakening because that's like the whole crux of that. Crocodiles hold us impelled down that, like, you know, awakened Zoans are super resilient and that they'll get back up after getting KO'd essentially. So yeah, we were accustomed to this coming in, and we knew this from yesterday's spoilers, but we didn't know about him wanting to leave the island. I thought that he was gonna get up and fight Luffy again, but no, him getting smacked down by Luffy was enough. But he's like, no, he truly is a Yonko and I'm not on that level. I'm piecing out here. And this kind of puts it into perspective, like, yeah, Lucci is more of like an opponent for like Sanji or somebody on that level, but definitely not on Luffy. Luffy is just truly Yonko level at this point. Not many characters can take him on in a competitive fight. That's why the Kizaru matchup is so intriguing. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the spoilers, guys. Still gonna go over the full summary. Hopefully we'll get it tomorrow. Gonna be going over the entire chapter, most of the dialogue, I assume, as well. So subscribe for that if you haven't already. And again, let me know what you think about this stuff in the comments, and like the video if you haven't, and have a great day. I'll see you in the next one.